Hello and welcome to Football AM to PM channel. My name is Pawan and today I'll be doing a review of Southgate, England manager, call up. He did name players calling up for a national team, which is potentially going to be ready for the World Cup as well. So this is kind of like a prototype what is going to happen in a World Cup, but there might be a slight change in between the World Cup because there are only limited number of players that are going actually in a World Cup, which is 24. If I'm not wrong, it should be 24 or 23. What do I think of this call up? It's some of them are bizarre, some of them are extremely satisfying, and some of them are controversial as well. So please wait till the end and please don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and especially subscribe since it is a fairly new channel. I do review of Premier League, Champions League, mostly Premier League top 6 and a Champions League. Let's talk from goalkeeper position. There are three names mentioned in that: Dean Henderson, Nick Pope, and Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale is the one that I admire a lot because he was exceptional last season, although there was lots of blunder at the end of the season. But throughout, if you really look at the throughout the whole season, Aaron Ramsdale is the one who is the most consistent on a Premier League if you look at the English goalkeeper, right? And they are on the top of the league, top of the table. Arsenal is on the top of the table right now, so it only makes sense to include him in and make him a number one. I don't think there is any other goalkeeper in England team except Aaron Ramsdale who is in a form. And Nick Pope, he deserves a call. Dean Henderson, I don't think he deserves a call because he haven't played much game last year, and since the time he's been in a forest, I have seen some few good performances, but I'm not convinced enough to say that he is the one that solves goalkeeper position for England. I think he's there only because Pickford is injured. By the way, Pickford is injured, so the normal goalkeeper that you had habit of seeing in an England team is not available because he's injured. Breaking news. Let's talk about defenders. Defenders, Southgate, I don't know what he's trying to do. There is out of 28 players on a whole squad, 12 players are defender. If you just stick on one goalkeeper in a squad and then play all the remaining defenders, do you have enough defenders to play a whole squad? Is that what he's trying to do? I don't know what he's trying to do. What do you guys think? Please mention in a comment below. Alexander Arnold, Ben Chilwell, Connor Cody, Eric Dyer, Mark Guehi, Rhys James, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Fikayo Tomori, Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker. 12 defenders. We can by just looking at the number of defenders, how much he have mentioned in a team, we can clearly see he is a defense-minded head coach. The amount of talent they have in midfield, the amount of talent they have in forward going as well. You don't really have to choose all of those defender in a team. You can, instead of playing five in a back, two midfielder and only three forwarder, you can choose to have 4-4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, two midfielder and one midfielder, attacking midfielder in the middle, two wingers and one forwarder. By looking at the number of defender he have selected, I can clearly see the 100% guaranteed it is going to be two wing back, three defender, center defender in between, and Harry Maguire is definitely going in a team sheet no matter how good or bad he is doing in a Premier League because he loves Harry Maguire. He gives chance to the player who works under his system, not looking at how things are going in a club wise. Arnold, he must be in a team. That's a thumbs up for me. Ben Chilwell, he's been injured a lot of the time. I think since there's lack of options for left back in England's, Ben Chilwell did get a call up. Although every single time he has pulled up a Chelsea shot, he's been decent. Southgate do not have a left back choice as much as he have for a right back. If you look at the right back, the amount of options he have is Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier can play on a right back, and Rhys James can play right back. There's a lot of players who can play right back. If you not mention those three players, there's other right back playing in a Premier League who are exceptional but doesn't get a England call up. Some of the people might get surprised by mentioning of Eric Dyer, but I was not surprised since Anthony Conte took over of Tottenham. He has been fantastic for Tottenham and Antonio Conte. Tottenham sits on a third on the table and he's been playing at a center back for them throughout the whole beginning of the season. So he deserves a call up. I'm not going to say he will be on a first 11, but in terms of being called up England first team, he deserves to be called up. Fikayo Tomori, he's one of the best rising superstar center back in top 5 league. He plays for AC Milan. They just won Scudetto, which means the Premier League version of it, Serie A in Italy. Kai Tomori has been outstanding for AC Milan. They have played 6 games, and in all those 6 games, he has been on their first 11 and starting as well. His passing is good. His passing accuracy is 89% average from the start of the season, which is pretty good. I see a point why he mentioned Mark Guehi. Crystal Palace defense is built around him. He's tall, he's strong, he can read a game, he can track back, and also he have an extra yard than other big bulky defenders, and he's young and energetic, so it only makes sense to bring him. But I don't think he's in the ranks of other center defenders compared to Eric Dyer, or because Eric Dyer has plethora of experience being in a Champions League final or being in a top four for numerous time, or a Fikayo Tomori, he just won a Scudetto. There's lots of other options that are better than him. If when thinning a squad, if one player that is going to be out of this England team, it's going to be Mark Guehi, according to me. By the way, I personally believe Ben White from Arsenal deserves more chance than Mark Guehi. Ben White, he's versatile. He can play right back. He can play center back. Throughout the whole, from the beginning of the season in the Premier League, he has been good for Arsenal. I have already mentioned Arsenal are on the top of the table. Ben White contribution on being Arsenal being on the top of the table has been huge. So I don't know if Southgate has been looking at Ben White or not. Not mentioning Ben White in England's team is definitely going to be a criminal and unjustified. Let's talk about midfielders. Jude Bellingham from Dortmund, Mason Mount from Chelsea, Calvin Phillips, he used to play for Leeds, now he is in Manchester City. Declan Rice from West Ham, James Ward-Prowse from Southampton United. I'm pretty much satisfied with what he have chosen as a midfielder, except with Calvin Phillips, because last year he has been injured throughout the whole season when he was on Leeds. One of the reasons Leeds didn't do well was Calvin Phillips was injured. Right now he is in Manchester City. Probably he thinks he'll be playing regularly on Manchester City squad and he'll get better. Although he's a pretty good midfielder, he can pass a ball from the deep to forwarders very nicely. His long range pass is good. His vision is exceptional. Pretty decent player. But if I was a Southgate, I'll probably go for a Henderson from Liverpool. Why? Because he had played most of the game last year in Liverpool. He had a wonderful season last year. They almost won a Premier League and they chased Manchester City till the last day of the game, like 38th game. And Henderson was a big player on that squad. Henderson is an essential player for Liverpool. Here comes the interesting part. Among 8 forwarders, there is no Jadon Sancho and Rashford. PSG thinks Rashford is worth it. That's why they did try to sign it. And Jadon Sancho is one of the expensive player in the world. When he came to Manchester United on nearly 80 million deal. And none of them are on the squad. And it's not even 23 or 24 man's squad. This is 28, and not being able to within those squad is, it says something about the quality of the players and the form they has been. I don't think anybody doubts the quality they had, especially Jadon Sancho. He is extremely skillful, and Rashford has a pace like no other player. But their contribution on last season to Manchester United has been nothing, nearly nothing. If you are playing regularly on a squad and you score only 3 or 4 goals throughout the whole season, that is not good enough to be called up for a country like England, which is, I think it is justified. And player like Gerard Bowen is the surprise call. Gerard Bowen and Ivan Toney are the surprise call that most of the people expected who watch Premier League day-to-day regular basis like me or other Premier League fans. I was expecting that, but I wasn't expecting on the expense of Jadon Sancho and Rashford. I'm gonna name the total number of all the 8 players, 8 forwarders of England squad. Danny Abraham from Roma, Gerard Bowen from West Ham, Phil Foden from Manchester City, Jack Grealish from Manchester City, Harry Kane from Tottenham, Bukayo Saka from Arsenal, Raheem Sterling from Chelsea, and Ivan Toney from Nottingham Forest. Pretty much I'm kind of satisfied with the names that has been linked with England squad, and I would give 8 out of 10 for a manager. However, he have even tougher job to thin out this squad, which is going to be extremely hard, even more difficult for a player to take in one in the chin, right? Because you have all those expectations, you've been called up in a squad, and later on when manager thinks of reducing the number of player, you're taken out. There's nothing more hurtful than that. What do you guys think of this? Are you guys happy with the list of squad, or do you guys have different perception? Please comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget that you are a wonderful person as well. Bye bye.